Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Christine Brown is thinking back on how her marriage to Kody Brown ended. Christine can now look back on the voids she felt in her relationship with Kody, particularly in terms of intimacy, years after she broke up with the Sister Wives patriarch. It wasn't a real true intimacy, she said to Sukanya Krishnan on June 8, the third episode of Sister Wives. I wasn't taken care of financially, romantically, emotionally, or physically. At that time, I was self-sufficient. According to the 53-year-old, who is now remarried David Woolley, Christine had previously felt taken care of physically by Kody, but that changed at the end of the relationship. And how did it feel to her? Just a gesture, she clarified. There isn't any genuine emotion or anything. Christine claimed she felt used, apathetic at the moment when it came to having sex with Kody, who is currently solely married to Robyn Brown following his splits from Christine, Meri Brown, and Janelle Brown. We simply sort of have to, I suppose. She and Kody's spiritual marriage was so broken by the time she made the decision to dissolve it in 2021. We didn't discuss, she continued. You realize there's a problem when you have sex 5 times a year, and we both knew something was missing. Nevertheless, Christine attempted to fix the situation before recognizing it was irreparably damaged. During one of our conversations on intimacy, the topic was whether or not we would have sex or any other form of intimacy in our marriage. She remembered. He said, no, so I told him, you're done. The next time he came over. You will no longer be staying here. You're not welcome in my bed. We're finished. She also acknowledged that the dynamic had changed when Kody and Robyn got married in 2014, saying, it was so almost over anyway, even though the last nail in the coffin would not fall until over 10 years later. Shortly after their 1990 vows, Kody Brown declared he was prepared to separate from his first wife, Meri Brown. However, Meri said in the September 15th premiere that he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, oh Meri, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us, alluding to their 2018 relocation. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her primary complaint, she stated, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want and the story that he's been telling for all these years. Also, Kody admitted that there might have been mixed messages, but only because he added, I'm like, why would I do this? When he began to work on things. I would not court and date her now. In any case, when Meri finally pulled the plug in early 2023, her pals were ecstatic. They're like, okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about damn time, she admitted. Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away, she says, implying that he had been trying to get her to leave him for years by claiming he didn't love her. In the season premiere, Kody said that he was prepared to let the idea die, years after the family had bought the 14-acre plot of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, on which they intended to build. Unable to construct without paying the entire $820,000 price tag, which the family allegedly did in 2023, he said to Robyn Brown, his surviving wife, I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it, and then just start again somewhere else. I can't talk about that, she said in reference to Robyn. That is so not where I'm at. This is the reason Janelle Brown left Kody Brown. Janelle Brown, the second wife, had previously informed E! News, we just kind of started to grow apart. But in the end, she left because of Kody's shortcomings as a parent to several of their children. The mom told Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown, the big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here. Janelle refused to entertain the possibility of reconciliation, even when Kody brought it up in the November 3rd episode. I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids, she stated. No, I'm going to always choose my kids. Cody Brown believes that his own family has excommunicated him. That was Cody's justification for not trying harder to patch up the problems he was having with some of his grown children. "I don't fit in the family anymore," he complained in the episode that aired on September 15th. Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown are the 5 children he and Robyn are raising together. He added, "And then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family." The marriage between Robyn Brown and Cody Brown was in shaky shape. "We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage," Robyn admitted in the season 19 premiere, even though they were being totally monogamous for the first time in their 14-year marriage. "It's been tough between us." He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. "Cody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, 'Are you going to reject me too?' The worst thing," she summarized, "was that there's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. As a result," she disclosed, "I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship." As Cody shared, "I can't look myself in the mirror and say, 'Hey, dude, I love you.'" Cody was experiencing a crisis of confidence. Seeing her former sister wives enjoy their new era was difficult for Robyn. "They're all moving on," she said on the episode that aired on October 27th. "I feel like the idiot that got left behind." Madison Brush doesn't talk to her father. To the list of children Cody isn't currently seeing, add Madison, Janelle's oldest daughter. During the premiere, Janelle clarified, "I am aware that Maddie has not spoken to her father. He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off." Cody's shaky relationship with Maddie's children, Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine, is the problem, according to Janelle. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. Because of this, Janelle revealed on the September 22nd episode that when the family started to really dissolve, Cody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Cody's brother. "Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme," Janelle continued, "since Cody has not been calling or coming to see. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him." Robyn added that she has been pushing Cody to make amends, but she also stated, "I think the kids should be doing the same thing, too." Cody, however, seems unprepared to mend the split for the time being, complaining that each time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip, and I got tired of it. According to Cody Brown, he never loved Mary Brown. He was alluding to the fact that he never loved me and he felt like he had to marry me. Mary revealed in a conversation with her friend Brandy during the September 15th premiere, while they were celebrating their 32nd anniversary. "Cody," I told him, "I know you loved me." In a confessional, Leon Brown's mother asked why he ever proposed if he didn't. Why would a single young man choose to marry a single young woman and simply declare and compel love for her when he didn't feel any feelings for her? "How cruel is that?" she questioned. "I chose you to attempt to force myself to love for the next 32 years, he said, picking me out of a crowd. In his own confessional, Cody responded, "Oh, Mary has her little allegations now. Okay, anything she wants to say. I will refrain from commenting on it." He would, however, admit that they never relished their honeymoon. During the October 20th show, he argued, "This marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage. And how would I know that? Because my relationships with Robyn, Christine, and Janelle were so much better." Even though he acknowledged that he should have gotten out of the relationship 25 years ago, he remained because he was afraid, saying, "Leadership will never allow you to marry again if you're discarding wives." Janelle Brown threatened Cody Brown with legal action. "I think I'm going to have to lawyer up," Janelle admitted to former sister wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode, "because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him." Janelle stated that step one was paying off the Arizona property, even though she wasn't sure if she wanted to build on Coyote Pass or just sell it off. "Without a valid marriage to Cody," Janelle admitted, I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Cody's property. In her own words, it's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, there isn't a legal marriage, which makes things quite difficult. It is alleged that Cody Brown gave his other wives access to private information. Cody claims that he no longer trusted Janelle, which is why he didn't discuss their Arizona property with her. We will pay off the property when the time comes, he maintained during a confessional in the September 22nd episode, adding, and I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever, because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family. In her own interview, Janelle described it as a bit of a pot calling the kettle black. He leaks like a sieve, she said. He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that. Robyn Brown's house was paid for with family funds. The family used to put all of their money into one pot back when their love was still growing rather than shrinking. On the September 22nd show, Janelle stated, up until the last 10 or so years, that's how it always worked. We would use all the resources to help one person, then we would all rally to support the other person. Suddenly, it's about my estate, even though everyone needs their own estate. They all helped to purchase Robyn's $1.65 million 5-bedroom house in Arizona when she needed a place to live. It was put up for sale this past August. According to Robyn, the idea was that it would be a benefit to the family. However, when Janelle proposed that they all put their names on the mortgage, she was rejected. Cody was like, no, we need to protect Robyn's estate, Janelle recalled. Therefore, now that she is leaving the family, she would like her share of the Coyote Pass proceeds, and I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house. However, it can be difficult to sell. We were working together for so long, Robyn said, and Robyn continued, it's like, how do you calculate? After Janelle claimed she owed them money. How do you calculate that? It's really perplexing. Janelle Brown questioned Cody Brown's financial management. I see all the art on their walls, Janelle said of Robyn and Cody's house, but I've seen him grab other assets like trailers and home decor. Janelle griped about the family's failure to pay for Coyote Pass, saying that Cody claimed to have all these other debts. And that's okay. I have money, and I've spent it on things too. Cody claimed that a large portion of his money was used to purchase cars, basically had a fleet, and child insurance. I used to always be surprised at how nice her backyard was, Janelle said, adding that she wasn't sure how Cody and Robyn managed their expenses. It was finished. Additionally, there was always stuff at her place. And I thought, wow. Finally, she wore herself down by saying, he doesn't prioritize what I need or what I want. I think after a while, I began to see it and my kids were getting very angry about it like my adult children. Like, Mom, what the hell? In Robyn's opinion, though, she was extremely frugal after her first marriage failed. During the September 22nd show, she revealed, I used to be not so great with money. When I was young, I had hard knocks, and then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well. When asked about her fellow sister wives, she replied, you just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all. Christine and Janelle Brown Woolley consider their children to be the center of the family. While she and Christine, the mother of Aspen Brown, Michael T. Brown Padron, Paydon Brown, Gwendolyn Brown, Isabel Brown, and Truly Brown, gather with their children, Janelle admitted in the September 22nd episode that there's no contact, really, with Mary or Robyn or Cody. I don't really foresee that's going to change much. Cody Brown believes that his relationship with the children was harmed by his wife's departure. Everything was going along smoothly and Maddie and Caleb were around, and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb. He was definitely like family, Cody added, referring to their arrangement of 4 houses on a cul-de-sac during their time in Las Vegas as the best time of my life. However, as they disagreed about procedures relating to the coronavirus, things started to fall apart in Arizona. He said that his ties with the children suffered as a result of his marriage's failing, saying, it just made all those relationships go sour. However, Christine maintained that there were problems long before she made her departure known in late 2021. She stated, "All the kids that were frustrated way before I left, during the show that aired last September 22nd. My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Cody can still fix his relationships with his children. However, it will undoubtedly require some effort. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that," Cody said. "Here's the thing is I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that I did. I hope the time comes when the contempt will subside. We'll be able to find forgiveness and love again." Meri Brown and Cody Brown's marriage was deemed miserable by Cody Brown. Cody disclosed that when he and Meri were officially married at the age of 19 and spiritually married at the age of 21, respectively, they didn't really know one another. In order for Cody to lawfully adopt Robyn's 3 oldest children from her first marriage, they ultimately filed for divorce in 2014. He said that everything was a conflict, saying, "I can't live in a world where she is constantly angry at me. When we got married, she was very different, and I think just there's some baggage that Meri had that I didn't know about," Cody explained. "At first, I felt like I could live with it. However, he was unable to leave." According to a man in a plural marriage, Cody stated, "He cannot ask for a divorce if he wishes to remain true and in his beliefs. It is not permitted. I therefore couldn't leave that relationship. I didn't necessarily want to end the connection, though. I wanted to know if it was something we could fix and save." Cody added, "She wasn't nice, she wasn't fun, she wasn't kind, and she wasn't interesting." This is why he stated to Meri that he thought they would work things out. "I'm bored and trying to be curious with her. But I didn't kick me out," he said, acknowledging that he could understand Meri's sense of abandonment. "Meri, Janelle, and Christine all decided to have me leave the house." Meri Brown's desire for a spiritual divorce was not shared by Cody Brown. Meri requested an official separation, known as a release, from their church in late 2022, even though Janelle and Christine believed they didn't need to divorce Cody because their marriage was never lawful. She clarified in the September 22nd episode that it was through our church when each of us 4 ladies married Cody. "Of course, we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. Therefore, I believe it would be best to end it, as we are not planning to get married, and I don't want to be permanently bound to him if he doesn't want me. And I'm at the point where I think we should simply put this out of our minds entirely." She went on to say that Cody was opposed to the notion because he did not want to acknowledge the authority of the church authorities. Cody clarified his position by saying, "The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what. But since we are accountable to God, I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. Since it will turn into a quarrel if I become upset with Meri, I'm going to let her go and do what she wants to do." And it took her a long time to comprehend that it had been done and over for years, so I just needed her to leave. Many of Cody Brown's children don't communicate with one another. "It all went bad, it all went south," Christine explained, describing how a text message argument over a 2021 holiday gift exchange grew especially ugly for the 18 Brown children. Cody and Robyn and their kids were on one side, and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, and our kids. And following this text thread, there was a division. But it was never anything about, "We don't want to see you again, we don't want anything to do with you," Robyn insisted, adding that her 3 older children felt the exchange was emotionally unsafe and that they needed to distance themselves from the relationship. It was just about, like, "Hey, this got yucky." Gabriel, for his part, hopes they can track each other down again. In the October 13th episode, he admitted, "The thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again. My favorite person to hang out with in middle school was Aurora. And I was constantly trying to get close to Dayton in high school. However, I'm not optimistic about a relationship with Robyn and Dad." The children of Robyn Brown never felt included into the family. When Aurora's mother married Cody in 2010, she insisted on joining the family, saying, "I've been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted, that I wasn't their sister, and that they didn't think or perceive me that way." Brianna, her sister, also expressed her opinion that the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. Christine, however, is unsure of how they may have extended their embrace. Robyn's kids and Robyn were invited to everything, she maintained. I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want. She also mentioned that Michael T. Brown Padron lived with Robyn's children for a while and that her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to them. There were hard times and my kids were frustrated, but they always consider Robyn's kids their siblings just the same. Cody Brown wouldn't remarry, but Janelle Brown would. When it's working properly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into, Janelle remarked, gushing over the independence she was granted in plural marriage. You have everything you need, including a wonderful connection with your spouse. After that, I am completely independent. Therefore, plural marriage seemed like a really wonderful arrangement to me. But Cody would never again say, I do to polygamy. Polygamy kills emotional intimacy, he said in the show on December 1st. It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy.